Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 26 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War. Thankfully, I didn't call it Thracia for the 10th time in a row. And it is time to do a class change with Midir. He's going to turn into an Arch Knight from a Bow Knight. And this is going to give him pretty reasonable buffs, especially because he's going to need them. Any unit that is mounted but not promoted cannot move across the mountains and go to the second part of this map. So you do have time to get units promoted before the second part of this map occurs, but just as a little bit of a tidbit reminder, you do absolutely need, and I mean absolutely need, your units promoted to walk across these mountains right here. So the second part of the stage comes after this bridge. The first part comes to the north and to the northeast. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this village right here is the village that has an item, and it's only for one particular unit. You have to have Sylvia visit this village, and then she gets the defense sword, or shield sword, I think it's called, or something of that nature. It gives +7 defense. It's actually really good for her to complete arenas with, when it's like needful, I should say, because she does have miracle, and that could be the difference between her dying in one shot or coming close to like perfect miracle, which is pretty great. You do have to worry about Dithorba, who is a Falcon Knight with a miracle band. She doesn't drop that, unfortunately. Myos, a Baron with Tornado. Very powerful. This is the first instance in this game of long-range magic, Blizzard. Blizzard is a 15 might, 60 hit, 3 to 10, 30 weight, wind tome. It does not have the effect of putting your units to sleep like it does in Thracia. Thank goodness. These two have, the two mages that are surrounding the commander here have that long-range tome, and I do believe, well actually no, I don't think there's any more over here yet. But there is Kavol, who has a sleep staff and a physic. You have to be very careful of this monstrosity, staying out of his range, making sure that you don't get put to sleep. Though you do have a restore staff at this point, so it's not the biggest of deals. These Elwind users, all of them are easy KOs and fodder for somebody like Azel, which is great. The villages are all going to come under attack relatively quickly. And I think this is the first village that will burn down if you're not quick enough. So do be mindful of that. I actually really love this particular chapter because it's just interestingly designed, and I find that to be pretty fantastic. I actually have a lot of preparations to do before I can continue on with this episode. I'm going to be showing off, I think, Rakessis going through this arena, the whole arena, whereas Midir has already gone through most of it. So I'm going to cut to that. I'll see you in a moment. And preparations are complete, except for a class change. Lewin has to turn to Sage, and then Rakessis is going to go through the arena. Hopefully she actually beats the whole thing, as she needs to, in order to promote. I actually don't think she's going to promote right yet, which is really unfortunate. She's probably very close to it, though. +5 skill and speed, +8 magic, +5 res. If you can believe it, that's not anywhere near as good of the buff that somebody like Rakessis is going to get. Now, as you can see, his speed was not anywhere near this cap, and upon promotion, he gets the class bases plus the boon of the +5. So the fact of the matter is he was basically set to a 25 base, which is kind of interesting how this game works with that. The renewal band will be nice for just a little bit longer. I'm going to be using it in this chapter and the next. So as a sage, I do believe all sages in this. No, I don't actually think sages in this game get adept, but he has adept and critical, so it doesn't particularly matter. He can use B rank and staves now. This is actually pretty great. I would definitely hazard that giving him a heal staff would be very good. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, I want to say Rakesis can get rid of the mend for a little while. I'm hopefully going to buy Rakesis the recover staff because it's a far and away better means of healing for somebody who only has 8 magic. Now she does get a decent amount, I think, after promotion. I'm not entirely sure, but she doesn't have any magic growth to speak of. So Lewin could buy something like a recover staff because it's a B rank. That's not a bad idea, but because he has way more magic than somebody like Rakesis, it would just be better if he had a heal staff. And unfortunately, I think I only have the one heal staff and the one mend staff right now because of the fact that I gave away the other heal staff on Eflin. That is something I could have removed from her. Probably would have been really great had I done that because she doesn't pass that down to her son. Ideen, let's see, yeah, Sylvia has the leg ring and the night ring, so now she has 9 movement and the ability to canto. This is insanity. Once you see how good this is, it's insanity. I did leave Tiltu at low HP, and the reason why I did that is specifically so that I could heal her up with somebody. As soon as I'm able to leave this castle, I need Midir and Ideen to speak to one another. Ideen needs to speak to Midir for him to get a very powerful, very necessary bow that will allow him to hopefully beat the final arena battle. I did also give him the speed ring after he fought the 6 arena battles. He hasn't fought the 7th with it, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. Potentially could. He is promoted though, so that's going to be great. Speed ring is great on him. I'm going to try to get him the renewal band as well before the generation is over, just because it would be nice for him to have it. The fact of the matter is that the renewal band is actually good on Lewin for his son because his son inherits a holy weapon, and those are incredibly expensive to repair, so having the renewal band for selling is probably pretty good. I might end up just keeping it on him, honestly. I think it might just be better in that retrospect. Now, Rakesis needs to buy the Paragon band. She will be able to afford the Brave Sword in just a moment, even if I had to like sell stuff in order to do that. She should be pretty adept at going through most of this arena, just because she is decent enough, statistically. Alright. So if she's hit another time, it will put her in Miracle. She'll have a 20% extra avoid. Luckily for her, it didn't matter, didn't come into effect because she defeated the Wind Mage before he could. Feel like fighting another round. Paladin with the steel sword. This might be a hard fight for her. Might be. He is only doing 11 damage to her, though. So she will be put in a decent amount of Miracle for this. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he can't hit her anymore. That's nice. And after this, she's going to be able to garner the Brave Sword for combat for the arena, which would be very incredible. It'll help her combat quite a lot. Of course, I feel like fighting another round, but I have to buy something. You don't really want to sell anything of hers in order to buy something for the arena because she's one of those units that needs gold constantly. And selling things is just not effective at keeping your gold. Unless you get those things for free, that is. Yeah, because he is a free or a forest knight ranger, he has adept automatically, and that's what he was proccing there. Speed and luck. The speed is fine. The luck is not great. Pegasus Knight with a Brave Lance. This could be a doomed battle. I need to see. Actually, yeah, I still think this is not great. Yeah. So what I could do is reset and use the Miracle Sword, and that might help. Let me see. All right, time to try again. Nikita with the Pegasus Knight. Brave Lance. She'll be put at 5, which means that she's getting 60 extra avoid. Nikita only has a 10% hit. A 10% hit, and she still hit. I'm going to try that one more time. After much struggle, Rakesis finally beat Nikita. That took an age, let me tell you, to figure out the RNG seed that was required for that one. And no, I'm not manipulating, I just had to reset. Save scumming, if you will. Alright, so Mage Knight Craft with the L Thunder. He's doing 19 damage, which is not good. 2 hits and he KOs Rakesis. Well, she avoided, luckily. Had she not avoided, I probably would have had to re-roll RNG. So how I'm re-rolling is I'm using somebody like Tiltu, who already is failing the arena regardless. And I'm just having her refight the arena until she's defeated, which is usually instantaneously, actually. Warrior with the Brave Axe, I think this is going to be a free fight. Hopefully Rakesis levels up from this, though. Yeah, he's doing 23 damage apiece, so if he were to actually hit her twice, it would be game over for her. But luckily, he only has a 19 hit, so. 1 out of 5 chance to hit, and she does level up. This is fantastic because this will allow me to promote her. This is very necessary for this chapter and my strategies. All right, so I don't feel like fighting another round yet because I have to show off the best class change in the world. I'm not going to show that right yet. Take a close gander at her stats. 15 strength, 14 skill, 15 speed, 12 defense. Pay close attention to those. Now I'm going to class change. Into Master Knight. Yes, I would like to do so now. Master Knight. Master Knight. The best class that has ever existed in Fire Emblem. And unfortunately, it's only in Genealogy. You get one in both generations, so it's not like you're missing out. Plus 7s, huh? Plus 7s. This is incredible. She has 22 strength, 21 skill, 19 speed, 19 defense. This is an incredibly busted unit at start, right? Just at base. Now, she does have the chance to grow a little bit more than this. I actually am kind of a little bit sad about where some of her statistics are because she's probably not going to reach maxes in most of them because she didn't get enough throughout her levels. But maximum strength, skill, speed, and defense as a Master Knight is 27. Maximum magic is 22. Maximum luck is 30, and maximum resistance, I believe, is 22 as well. So she has quite a ways to go before she's capped on these things, but leave me tell you, she has incredibly fantastic statistics all around as it is. I think I have to, unfortunately, repair the Brave Sword. And then fight the last battle. She could potentially lose this one because Atlas is quite the strong unit. He has Pavis, of course, but he also comes with, I believe, a skill ring and Bolganone. So he's doing an insane amount of damage, 20 per hit. One thing I forgot to mention, and you probably noticed by now, Rekessis has Pursuit. Master Knights are one of the few classes in this game that gain Pursuit upon promotion, and I can't believe it. She's probably going to lose this fight because he decided to proc that. Yeah, she did. I'm going to have to reset. Perfect. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is probably give her the Armor Slayer. That might turn out to be a better chance for her to win this fight. All right, I think this is going to be a better chance for her, all in all, because she's just going to crit and double, and she's doing an insane amount of damage. Unfortunately, Aaron was not able to pass Atlas using the Armor Slayer. I tried to as best as I possibly could, and she just could not get the KO. So I had to leave it as it was. But that is the fullness of Chapter 4's arena, beaten by Rekessis, the now newly promoted Master Knight, with 20 defense now. It's pretty great. She also doesn't have to repair the Brave Sword in this iteration, especially because she has to repair her weapons and stuff as it is. I kind of don't want to give her the Recover staff right now because it's just out of her realms of affordability. Once she pairs with Azel, she can have anything she wants. The man is rich beyond your wildest dreams. And the reason why is because the bargain ban just makes you rich. It doesn't matter what you do. There's never going to be an instance when you have the bargain ban where you're going to run out of money. The Earth Sword is equally as expensive, by the way, as repairing holy weapons in this game. Insanity. Now, she doesn't any longer need the Paragon ban, so I'm going to go ahead and sell that. Because of that, I kind of think... So here's the thing. If I do give her the Recover staff, which is actually pretty insane utility for her, I could give Lewin the Mend, which is, a good idea, especially because he's going to be, fighting with my units. And Ideen still has Physics, so she has her healer utility. She also has the most magic of these three units. I have to give Rekessis back the Mend before... See, this doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I have to give Rekessis back the Mend before Chapter 5 is over. The problem with that is that where Lewin ends up in Chapter 5, it's pretty much not happening. Pretty much. So, I kind of... Now, Ideen giving her the Recover is not useful because she's not pairing with a unit that's going to give... She's not pairing with anybody besides Midir. She's pairing with Midir, right? That's not going to give her daughter anything higher than a B rank in staves, which means she cannot have Recover, because Recover is an A rank, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it? Oh, wait. Recover is B rank. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I just realized. Yeah, that's awesome. Rekessis actually needs the return band. So I couldn't buy the Recover with her anyway. I'm very glad I noticed this. The return band needs to be on Rekessis because she is she's the return user. She's a great user of return, so there is that. Now, return isn't going to be something I keep on her forever because when Aaron promotes, Aaron gets C rank in staves, if I'm not mistaken. Not B rank, just C rank. So I would give Aaron the return. The issue with that is, though, I will say this, I actually think that that's not useful unless you already have Aaron promoted for this particular chapter. I wouldn't give return to Aaron next chapter. I would actually keep return on Rekessis. And the reason why this is just has to do with the fact that it's not reasonable to change up items before the end of next chapter, and next chapter happens to be the last in the first generation. So do be mindful of these things. I have a little bit more preparation to do before I start the chapter. All right, I think all of what I need to do is done with most of my units. So with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and move out. And there's going to be an obvious group of my units that stick together. That is Sigurd. Okay, where does she move to? Ideen. Deer. Alright, time to talk.
Midir, please accept this bow.
Isn't this a brave bow? Are you sure you want to give away something so rare?
I am. I bought it for you, after all. Silesse's Pegasus Knights are a formidable foe to face. With a bow of this caliber in hand, I know you'll be better prepared to fight them.
Milady, I still can't believe this isn't a dream. I can't believe we're actually married. I've dreamed of this for so long.
I've long dreamt of the same myself. I had wanted to act upon it for so many years, but I couldn't, even at my loneliest. But I think by now you can just call me ID. I'll always look out for you, my dear. I'll always pray for your safety.
And you get the Brave Bow, which, in my humble opinion, is the best bow in the game. Even better than the Killer Bow. Yes, the Killer Bow has some attributes that the Brave Bow can't match. Like, for instance, it's much lighter, as well as it has critical and it has more hit. It has the most hit of any bow in this game, in fact. But the Brave Bow, consecutive hits. The ability to quad, especially with something like the Speed Ring, is going to be insane. Midir is going to become a much better combative unit, and his son is going to appreciate the contribution. I actually think I want to dance for Midir's crew instead. That's a little bit of a change up, honestly, but it doesn't matter. Sigurd will be reached next turn. And of course, like I said, the brave weapons do have to be danced for. All right. Depart castle. And here we go. My very first dance with Sylvia, with her extra movement and Night Ring equipped. This is awesome. So Azel is obviously going to be moving out forward more than most because he does have the light brand, and I think he's going to be a very good unit for fighting the enemies I have to fight. A little bit of experience points for Rekessis. She doesn't really need it anymore, and the return staff shouldn't be wasted in my humble opinion right now, because I'm going to need it for when I conquer the first castle on this chapter. There's going to be an obvious reason why that is later on. And then I think Lewin... yeah, he can buy the heal staff, which is perfect. I'm going to depart castle with him, and I have to stay next to Tiltu. These two are going to take a while to pair, but it is a very, very worthwhile pairing. One thing I will mention is that Tiltu and Azel have a conversation in this chapter. This gives them a boatload of lover points. You do not want this, especially if you are using somebody else to pair with either of them. All right, Alec. I gave Alec the Paragon Band. In all honesty, I don't think he's going to get very many KOs this particular chapter. I'm going to try. I'm honestly going to try. But the problem is that he's not really going to keep up with my other mounted units who move much faster. Now, granted, I do have Sylvia, so I could dance with him. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to dance with him to get him up there as fast as possible because I would like him to get some KOs for the simple fact that he is actually very far off of promotion. I don't think he is going to possibly be able to promote this chapter, and that's just due to my not focusing him. Alec and Noish, like I said before, are in a very tough situation where you would like to use them because they seem like fantastic good units, but they're just not. And because of that, it's harder to use them than you would want. Now, Claude and Sylvia have to be paired, so that's going to be kind of tough. After the first turn or two, I'm going to be keeping them together, which means that Sylvia is not going to be much help for the whole dancing thing until she meets up with the group in the forest, because this map is heavily terrained, and because of this heavy terrain here, your units don't have good movement through them. So there is that. End my turn. I kind of want to give Dew most of the villages over here, but the problem with that thought is that the dude is in need of getting to the bridge over by Thove Castle, as well as the fact that he needs to pair with Bridget.
There's the signal to assault Saline, as planned. I trust you're all ready. Move in. Teach the traitorous scum the terror of the Wind Mage's wrath.
Yeah, this little group of Wind Mages doesn't move very fast until you get within their range and they're outside of the forest. Yeah, technically these two villages start burning before the other village does. Well, these three, but you're going to reach them relatively very quickly, even if you're not using dance. And Dethorba's group is moving out. They won't reach you until you're basically done with the Wind Mages, which is both fortunate for you and unfortunate for the difficulty of this particular chapter, because I don't think it's all that difficult having to deal with the two crews separately.
The Thove army's attacking. Looks like Miles has finally made his move. Why, this little drama is finally getting interesting, wouldn't you say, Pamela?
Indeed, sir. However, as I recall, we didn't account for Sigurd's fugitives being here. Their strength poses a real risk to the plan. If Miles at least succeeds in weakening them, perhaps Silesse's fall will still go smoothly?
Even if he fails, I still have my private deal with Granville in my favor. Their Lord Andre should arrive shortly with a battalion of reinforcements. My victory is certain, Pamela. I'll be sitting on the Silessian throne by the end of the week.
Without a doubt, sir.
She almost seems indifferent to that, which is kind of funny, to say the least. Alright. Again, do be mindful of Cavol's range. Alright. I think I'll put you two here.
Hey, Aaron, you totally like Lewin, don't you? Like, do you really like him?
Huh?
No, Prince Lewin is beloved and respected by all the people of Silesse, myself included. Oh, okay then. Then I guess you'd be okay with me and Lewin getting together, right?
Yes, I wouldn't really mind.
Really? That wouldn't bug you at all? No, I'm sure I'd have no issue. Why do you ask? Am I supposed to object? I don't know, but if it's all fine by ya, then I guess it's time for me to go work my magic on Lewin. The thing is, a prospective Queen of Silesse ought to possess the same grace and dignity as our Queen Rana.
Agreed.
Oh, so you're saying I'm not cut out for it? How rude.
No, that isn't.
Fine then, I'll show you.
So that gives a bunch of love points between Sylvia and
I want to say it gives a bunch of luck points between Sylvia and Lewin. I actually don't want that to happen, so I'm going to have to reset here. I'll be right back. All right. This should be fine now. I do have to be mindful of where potentially Claude can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He probably can move to about at least here, so I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I guessed right. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and move him there. Also have to be mindful of where Aaron can move for you. I'm going to use the Brave Bow for the first time to get rid of this pirate, and that's going to be awesome. Took all 4 shots, but, you know, oh well. Cool thing about Madeira is since he's already paired, I don't have to worry about him sticking close to Ideen. Plus he has Pursuit and a Cost, along with the Brave Bow. This makes for a very fantastic grouping of skills and whatnot. Alright. These two can continue to sit right next to each other. Ideen has to keep on moving. Tiltu and Lewin? I want to say Tiltu and Lewin are better off left to the south down here and just allowed to pair because they're not really going to do anything combatively for this particular part of the chapter, at least up here. And the issue with that is that they need to, especially Lewin needs to get across the mountain. I don't think it's that big of a deal though if I bring them along because I will have 2 ways to return units, so either way it's fine. Dew and Bridget are also getting paired. So most everybody is next to his respective pairing partner, and I am going to end my turn. Though phase moving. I actually think Eldigan the Lionheart. Chapter 3's music is better than Silesse, but I will tell you that I personally think that the music for Silesse really does convey that you're like stranded in a deserted, frozen tundra of a land. And that's basically what you're fighting, since Silesse, the Pegasus Knight nation, is just like pretty much every other Pegasus Knight nation in existence, which is they have a snowy climate. I actually find this kind of interesting that this has been a running theme between all of the Fire Emblem games. With that being said, though, it is time for me to end off episode 26. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.